I grew up as a preacher's kid, and growing up, my dad was a minister in a church that had several different ministers. They often took turns preaching, and all of my church friends loved it when my dad preached. The reason why they loved it was not because my dad was particularly entertaining or funny or profound, but because he was short. My dad would get up, do a sermon in 10, 15 minutes, and then he would sit down. So that meant that we got to get out early. And the reason why I'm telling you the story is because I think it is part of something that most of us have a desire for. And that is this desire to always leave people with wanting more and to always make people want to miss you and look forward to seeing you again. You know, to the point of my dad having such short sermons. The reason why he was so short, because I asked him about this once, and he was like, well, my grandfather, so my great grandfather, who was also a minister, always told him, you don't want to make people happy twice. Happy when you get up, happy when you sit down. So with this idea of us wanting people to miss us and wanting to leave people wanting more, I want to talk about 8 ways in romantic relationships to make a man miss you. Now, before I get into this, I want to say very clearly that this is not about manipulation. This is not about playing games or any of that. You are going to create a relationship in which someone authentically misses you for who you are and the value that you bring into the relationship. This is something that I'm constantly working with on my clients is that we don't just want to be in relationships for the sake of being in relationships. We don't want to attract a man. You want to attract a lifetime partner, someone who is going to love you, cherish you, value you, and someone that is going to add to an already great life, not someone who is going to be your entire life. So if you're interested in creating that type of relationship, you can work with me one-on-one. I will put that link in the description. But for now, let's get back to those 8 ways to make a man miss you. Number one is to give him space. There's the saying that absence makes the heart grow fonder. And oftentimes, I work with so many women who feel this push to show how valuable they are in a relationship by always being there, always being around, and showing how smart they are, how funny they are, how fun they are to be around. And that's great. You can exhibit those qualities, but if you're always available, then you are never giving this man an opportunity to miss you. And you want to create those opportunities. You need to give your potential partner the space to wonder about you, to think about you, to, consider what it was that made him so drawn to you in the first place. And just taking a step back every once in a while allows his mind to fill in the blanks and often to do so in a very positive way. So, yes, you want to give someone space. When you think about, the Bible and you think about the story of Adam and Eve, you know, God didn't create Adam and Eve at the same time. He created Adam first and gave Adam this opportunity to be alone, to be a little bit lonely, and then created the solution in Eve to provide that companionship. And it's the same concept here. You want to give this person the opportunity to have their space, to see what it's like to feel that, and also still see you, see how great you are, see the amazing life that you're living, and to want to be a part of that, and to want to spend more time with you in order to be a part of that. So, number two is being your own source of joy. And by the way, if you see me looking down, I have notes because otherwise I get squirreled and I want to make sure we stay on track. But if you are completely dependent on someone else to be your be all, to be your everything, to be the source of your entertainment and validation, then you are doing this thing completely wrong. You want someone who adds to your already great life, someone who complements you, not someone who completes you. And because of that, you want to have a life that is full of purpose and passion and joy before you even concern yourself with bringing in a relationship and, having that partner. So in order to do that, if you are in your single season right now, this is the time for you to chase your dreams, find your purpose, have hobbies, really get clear on what type of life it is that you want to live. And then once you're clear on those things, then you're not only going to attract a better partner because this person's going to see how interesting you are, how great your life is, and again, want to be a part of that and want to add to it. But also, you are going to be clear on what it is that you want in a relationship because when you see that you've built a certain type of life, then you're going to want to get clear about, okay, this partner that I say I want, this partner that I'm trying to attract, how is he going to add to this life? What qualities does he need to have in order to add to this life? And what you focus on magnifies. So once you are clear on those things, it becomes easier to fix your focus on that type of man who's going to be best aligned with your life and with your purpose. Number three is not being afraid to show your emotions and to show the full range of them. When we talk about feminine energy, part of that is being completely present and being in the moment and not being afraid of showing who we are. So no person is happy all the time. No person's happy 24/7. And yes, you should show those happy moments and you should laugh and have fun and enjoy the good times. But there's nothing wrong with also showing in a relationship when a man does something that you don't like, that you're not pleased with. There's nothing wrong with showing that you're not pleased with that behavior, that you don't like it. There's nothing wrong with showing a little edge, with having a little bit of fire to your personality, right? When you read Proverbs 31, there's so much talk about Proverbs 31 woman and how she's a great mother and wife and all of that stuff, which is fine. But when you dig deeper into the personality traits, she was strong and she was dignified. She was kind and she was also wise. She had no problem with showing all the facets of her personality. Number four is you want to learn when to step back, right? So you don't always want to be the first to text, the first to call, the first to make plans, to suggest plans. If you're doing all of that, you are doing way too much. There's so much to be said for being able to sit back and be in reception mode, to allow yourself the opportunity to receive and let someone else step forward and do things. This is not because you are weak. This is not because, the feminine can't lead or anything. Women are amazing leaders. Look up any case study of a country that has a female leader, and you will see all the progress that was made. So we are phenomenal at doing this. Women, when they are in charge of stock portfolios, actually, do a little bit better than men. There are so many stories of great CEOs. It's not a matter of we can't lead. It's a matter of our leadership looks different. And also, we can choose not to. We can choose sometimes to step back. And again, talking about what I just said about having, multiple facets of your personality, you can choose to be a leader um, in your career as a business owner or as a CEO or as a manager and all of that. And you can choose to have that side of you and to also be more feminine at home and to be, again, more in that reception mode. So, don't be afraid to step back. And when you do that, when you're not so eager to always be first, you will see that a man who's truly interested in you, and again, this is a man who's interested in you, because if he's not, then you step back and he'll just go on about his way. He'll go to his other options. But if the man is interested in you and you step back, he'll lean in. He'll take that leadership role a little bit. So allow that to happen. Number five is to create a little bit of jealousy. Back to what I said at the beginning of this video, this is not about being toxic or manipulative. You're going to create authentic jealousy. And the way that you're going to do that is you're going to remind this person in the dating stages, and also even when you get into the relationship and it's solid, you're going to remind him that you are a wanted person. You are going to have, if you choose to keep your career and all of that, you're going to have business opportunities that keep you busy. You're going to have friends. You're going to have a social life. And, if you are active on social media, post pictures that show you're having fun without him, that you can enjoy life without having to have a man. So much of the content that we see on social media is talking about decentering men. And a lot of it talks about decentering men in a toxic way. Men are trash. Men ain't ish. Let's get rid of all the men. And I think that romantic relationships are such a beautiful opportunity for us to grow. I think that they are an amazing opportunity for us to have support and for us to, enjoy companionship. So I don't want to get rid of men. I don't want to get rid of romantic relationships. But at the same time, you can have other relationships as well. You can have friendships. You can have relationships with the community in the form of volunteering or being active in your church, mosque, synagogue. I work with women of all faiths. So insert yourself where you fit in. But you can do all of this as well as having that romantic relationship. So don't be afraid to step back and, allow yourself to let him be jealous when he sees all the other things that you're doing and allow him to want to be part of that fun as well. Number six is to have a little mystery. And this kind of ties in with that whole idea of not being so quick to always call or text and all of that, because you should genuinely be busy. And if you're not constantly talking to this man in the dating stages, that means that you're not going to have time to tell him everything at once. You're not going to have time to just spill all of your business. Make the process of getting to know you enjoyable. Make it something where there is an unfolding, where there's a little bit of a challenge in getting you to open up. You think all the time about like onions and how they're, made of layers and peeling them back. Allow someone to slowly peel back those layers. And again, this is not a matter of playing games, but one, in order to protect our feminine energy, we have to be very careful about who we give access to us. And that means that people need to earn that access. So you reveal a couple of things about yourself and you see how someone manages those things. You see how they manage your emotions, your reactions. You see whether or not they take these things and try to use them against you, or whether they use these things to support you and be a better partner. And then when they show themselves worthy, you reveal a few more things, and so on and so forth. And also, if you just spill your guts and you tell every single thing there is to get to know you out there, up front, what's the fun in that? Someone has no incentive to really keep getting to know you. And even if they stay in a relationship, it leads to this complacency where, again, they're not trying to have these great conversations and try to spend this quality time because they know everything that there is to know. Also, you want to show a little bit of vulnerability, and that is our seventh step in this process. I believe we're at number seven. Um, while it is important to show some strength in the form of boundaries, And this is something I talk about all the time. As women, we have both masculine and feminine energy. It's not a matter of completely ditching our masculine energy. It is a matter of finding the balance between the two. So part of that masculine balance that we have is being able to set boundaries and enforce those and have certain standards and expectations for a relationship. But we also want to sometimes lean into our feminine side and not be afraid to show a little bit of vulnerability. You don't want to act like you never, ever need anyone's help. You want to invite people into your life, not just the fun moments, but invite them into helping you, being able to receive that help. It's okay to, from time to time, show that you have some fears, show that you have some struggles, and to allow him to take care of those things, to provide for you in that way. Again, talking about what you see on social media from a lot of dating coaches, too often the talk about provision is about, oh, a man needs to pay all the bills and he needs to buy this and buy that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But provision is also, making a safe space emotionally for someone. Provision is creating a feeling of safety for someone, and you can allow him to create that safe space for you by showing some vulnerability from time to time. Back to my previous point, you want to do this slowly and you want to give him time to show that he is that type of man. And again, you don't want to put all of your fears out there at once, but little by little, yeah, don't be afraid to open up. And then finally, you want to trust in yourself and trust in God more than you trust in a man. It doesn't matter how amazing your partner is. Like, I love my husband to death, but at the same time, I'm never going to allow anyone else to be the center of my universe, right? I love myself. I love God. I love the God in me. And that's what I allow to be centered always. And any relationship has to add to that and has to contribute to that. And if it doesn't, I wouldn't be in that relationship, right? So instead of obsessing over what the man is doing, instead of obsessing over whether or not he likes you, you've been on one date and you're already trying to picture, his last name added to yours and you're planning the wedding and all of that. Stop it, right? Instead of doing all of that, you want to pull back and you want to fix your focus. You want to fix your focus on yourself. You want to fix your focus on your faith and your spirituality. You want to fix yourself on your purpose. Make the focus more about your life and again, how the people in your life contribute to it and add to it. And I promise you, this is not selfish at all. In fact, it is the least selfish thing that you can do. Because here's what's going to happen. When you truly fill your cup, you're going to find yourself in a place where you have overflow. And because you have this overflow, you're going to be able to give this overflow to other people. You're going to be able to give this overflow to your partner, to your parents, to your children, to your siblings, to your friends. And now you're going to be able to love everyone in your life so much more fully without feeling any resentment because you're able to love them without feeling like you're having to sacrifice parts of yourself in order to do it. So, these are the 8 ways in which we are going to create an environment in which, our romantic partner, the man in our life, the man that we're seeing, is going to miss us. And, just keep in mind that we're not playing mind games here. We are authentically living our best lives, doing what we need to do to live our best lives so that this person just wants to be a part of that and wants to add to an amazing life that we've already created. And you just want to allow that attraction to grow naturally over time. So, again, if you want to become that woman who naturally creates an irresistible attraction and who is naturally magnetic and is able to be in a healthy, loving relationship, I would love to work with you one-on-one. This is something that I help women with all the time. I will put the link to have a call with me in the description, and I will talk to you soon. Love you so much. Bye.